Today is August 2nd, 2018. I want to do a quick, really more garden tips. I've kind of fallen off on doing my updates, but here I'll talk a few minutes about some gardening tips and a fail and some things that seem to work. So let's talk about the fail I did. The main fail is that I waited too long to attack a problem. I had actually here I had a whole bunch of cucumber vines, and then they got attacked by squash bugs, and I waited too long before I attacked the squash bugs, and they had done their damage by then. In fact, I'm trying to start new cucumbers. You can see it's not too late to start again, so I'm trying again, and I've got some cucumbers, but only one's coming up in the tub. But anyway, so the squash bugs were, you know, legion. They were just everywhere. And even though I had my marigold, even though they're not flowered yet, but I had the transplanted here, but they didn't seem to help. I think they help with other insects, but anyway, first I tried was a spray bottle, and I remembered something about vinegar and soap, and so I combined half soap, half vinegar, and sprayed it on my watermelon vine that was under attack, and some other things. And well, actually vinegar and soap together will kill the plant, so it's really for weed control. So that was the fail. So I took out my own watermelon vine. Well, they were you can see there was a squash plant there too. I took those out, but there were still bugs. And then I looked online and I saw that I needed to skip the vinegar bad for insecticide in your garden if you want the plant to live. What I did do then was I saw that someone just took soap without the vinegar, and they were saying a half cup of soap and a gallon of water, and I tried that like a week ago, and my insect population has decreased greatly. But look, you see those two guys, or I guess I guess one's a female. Anyway, you can see these guys are going at it. These insects, I think they're June. Well, you tell me what they are. I think they're June bugs, but they're awful small for June bugs, but they kind of look like them. In my okra. Now, a week ago I sprayed, and boy, I killed hundreds. And so I know what to do now. You see that okra there? Look at it, it's beautiful. So I'm getting about, you know, a fistful of okra every day or every other day. So I need to pick some today. So that's getting off point. So in a second I'm going to spray, like I said, to kill just the insects and not the plant, soap and water. And also you can see that they were really attacking they are still attacking. You see how they're attacking my beans, my pole beans? So I've already killed, like I said, hundreds from a week, but you can see that there's still myriads, there's still hundreds that have come back. This is how bad it has been. They took every leaf from my apple tree. Here, let's look at this. Now I'm pretty sure it was the June bugs, these bugs that I'm attacking today. You see how that apple tree is just eaten up? Now, I never did spray the apple tree. Maybe next year I'll spray it. But they really took out the apple tree. The leaves are, and so if you're getting attacked, soap and water. Can you believe that? So now the other garden tip is a fertilizer. Now look at this. Can you see how dark it is in that bucket? These are, I had pulled weeds and put them in this bucket, and then the rain came and it's been setting, digesting in this bucket. So that would be anaerobic digestion. Now that's going to smell a little bit because there's no oxygen to speak of in that, but you can see how it's now broken down into nice. In fact, you'll look at that and you'll say, wow, look at that. It looks like there's some oil on top. But then, as you should know, all oil comes from plants and animals, you know. So it may be a little bit oily looking, but that's actually just digested from plants. And I think mostly those are, what are those? Dandelions. Those are dandelions and weeds. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter it through this little skimmer, and then I'm going to dilute that down. And actually, I got a bucket here of, this is actually from washing dishes. So there's actually soap in there, and whatever else. So this is gray water. But I'm going to dilute it down, and I also have some rainwater I've been catching. So you want to dilute that down, and then you want to add it, of course, to the soil. Not to the plant itself, but down around the roots. But, so this is a nice fertilizer. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is possibly, if you're going to do something like that, you want to cover the bucket to minimize, you know, mosquitoes. Okay, those are 2 garden tips, and I'll regurgitate it. If you want to kill insects, it looks like soap and water, and that's a half cup of soap and a gallon of water sprayed onto the insects. Will kill them, and will leave the plants alive. And the other thing is, if you want a natural fertilizer, just let you know, they talk about aerobic composting normally. This is actually anaerobic digestion. So this, you know, a little bit different. You don't you don't want to do this, you know, you don't want to digest things that close to your house per se, but it will give you a nice, it'll break out the phosphorus, and the nitrogen still should be there to a certain extent. I don't think it's going to be denitrified, but so that should be anoxic. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to apply that to the base here. I'll apply that to the base of my pole beans, and you can see the flowers. Actually, I'm surprised I haven't received tons of flowers. Or I mean, I've gotten a few pole beans from these bushes on the bottom here that are turning yellow. See, I've already had some pole beans here, a few, but not great quantities. But I'm surprised as I look. I see some flowers, but I don't see the beans. So I'm a little surprised at that. But the tomatoes have been doing fair, not great, fair. So anyway, I'll pick these tomatoes. I'm getting a few tomatoes, but I do have a wall of green now around the garden. So that's kind of enjoyed this garden update. We'll see. We'll see how they go in the future. Anyway, day by day. Love you guys. Bye bye now.